Hey you guys, it's me, Laura. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, ages 4, 9, and 11. And today I am going to share with you something new that we're doing in our homeschool. Our homeschool year starts on July 6th, so that is coming up. And we school year round, so there's just not really much of a break in between, not much of a distinction. But this year I'm going to do a first day of school with the kids, and we're making just a couple adjustments as they move up into their new levels. And one of the things that we are going to do this year is I am going to have something called an individual loop. Usually the loop is done for morning basket or family subject time, but I am doing an individual loop for each of my kids. So I looked at each of them and I looked at the areas where they're weak and the areas that they are strong and maybe could use a little bit more time in that area. And I thought I would go ahead and show you what I am using for those. So for my oldest, we are going to be doing some executive function stuff in this executive function workbook. And the way that this will work is he'll do one activity from one of these things each day and just go through the stack and do the next one on the next day and the next one the next day. So this is really only adding one extra activity per day. And the goal is that I'm hoping that these are not going to be too challenging or too difficult or too overwhelming, although some of them are going to push him more than others. But this one is just to work on executive functioning. And so inside they have a little reading he'll do and a different activity each day. And so on the days that he does this, he'll just do one of the exercises that goes with that. And then I also have him working on reading detective. So I am not a fan of most reading comprehension worksheet type things. They don't really help you learn how to have good reading comprehension. They just kind of expect that you'll figure it out. But I wanted something that was a little bit deeper that helps you learn how to really analyze what you're reading. So I found this. This is, it says it's grades 5 and 6. And what it does is it takes these passages, and there's passages from literature, there's passages from nonfiction, there's little short stories and all kinds of stuff. And it breaks down each of the passages. Each paragraph has a letter, and then each sentence is numbered. So the student will read through, and then the questions over here are a little bit more in depth. So questions like, what is the writer trying to convince you to do? So it's asking that question, but then it says, list numbers of the 2 sentences that best support this answer. So it's not just asking you to answer, it's asking you, okay, so how from the text are you getting that answer? Using paragraph A, give the numbers of 2 sentences that best support why the author believes you should have your pets fixed. What can you conclude from the example of Fluffy in paragraph D? And then it's got some multiple choice. And anyway, there's just a lot of critical thinking, and I think this is going to be especially good as he's going up higher in his grades, he's in middle school now, and I think it just helps learn as he's studying for classes or studying things like how to study, how to read, how to look for those clues. And my guess is that this is going to be challenging at the beginning, but I think once he gets the hang of it, it's going to be much easier. And he'll just do one of those a day on the days that he does that. So not every day, but just the days he does that. I also have this writing sentences and paragraphs. This is from Evan Moore, and it says that it's for, I think, grades 4 to 6. And this is just a little bit of extra writing practice. I wanted it to be easy, but I wanted to give him a chance to practice writing a little bit more. So it starts with just really basic understanding the parts of the sentences, what kinds of sentences are, that should be really easy for him. And then it moves to, once you kind of understand what a sentence is, you're combining and making compound sentences, and then you're adding more, like the kitten purred. Can you make that more interesting? And just kind of slowly working on sentences every day. And then by the end of the book, they're working on paragraphs. But I like this because it's not just, hey, write a sentence. It step by step walks you through the parts of a sentence and helps you build the skill to write a good sentence and then it helps you learn the skills to write a good paragraph, and it just step by step takes him through. So I think this will be a good practice for him. And the last one that I have for him is he is very good at science. He's very science-minded. I did not want to do a traditional science subject for him. That's not how he learns, and I don't want it to kill his love of science. I want to kind of foster that and give him the tools. So I came across this DK, How to Be Good at Science, Technology, and Engineering, and it's for grades 6 through 8. And it literally just kind of has a bunch of different sections and all different kinds of science that it walks you through. It really gives a lot of the groundwork and the basics for science that I felt like was really good. And each section is only like a 2-page spread. So it's not a lot. And I felt like that was a reasonable amount for him. And then I found this to go with it. And it just has, for the 2-page spread, it'll have a couple pages of workbook pages. And it doesn't have workbook pages for every single 2-page spread in the textbook, or if you call that a textbook, but it does have some in here. So what I'll have him do is just read one section, and if there's a workbook part, he'll do that with it. If not, he'll just read the section. And this will take him a while to get through, because if you think about it, we'll probably only be doing this about once a week. But this really covers a lot of the science content for 6th through 8th grade. So I feel like him going through this will give him a really solid base and give him a chance to kind of explore science in a little deeper level than what he's doing with his siblings. So that's what I have for my 6th graders individual loop. And now I will show you what I'm doing for my 4th grader. So he loves history. I found this Ancient History for Kids. We've done a lot of American history, and we have done some world history sprinkled in, but not as much. He definitely is interested in ancient Rome, and I don't think he knows a whole lot about ancient Greece and ancient Egypt, so this is a great opportunity for him to learn. This is written in such an engaging way. So what I'm going to do, the narration for the audiobook for this is really good too. So I am going to have him read along with the audio version of this from Audible. And then at the end of each one, there's like a quiz or a crossword puzzle or a little activity. So when he does this, he'll just do one chapter at a time. I'm guessing he'll probably get through this in the course of the year, maybe not. But I think this is something that he'll really like, and it's captivating history. They've got so many different books on topics, on things all throughout history. Definitely worth checking out. Like I said, the audio is really good too. So he's going to be doing this. Whoops. He's also going to be doing the social and emotional learning activities from Evan Moore, and I think we're just going to go through this in order. It's just got activities to help you think about things like empathy and different cultures and making good choices and having responsibility and your own feelings and what, you know, being aware of yourself and your strengths and your weaknesses and all of those kinds of things, and goal setting. And I think this is going to be really good for him. I also want him to be working on writing a little bit more as well. So what I'm doing for him is, this is Evan Moore, Draw Then Write. I have the PDF version of this, so I went ahead and printed some out, and he loves to draw. So he'll start with drawing the picture and then filling in the blanks to make sentences, and then it graduates up to where you're drawing the picture, following step by step, and then you answer the questions: who or what, did what, where, when, why, and then you turn that into a sentence. So it kind of takes you through step by step, and then by the end there's just a little monkey there. It's not step by step, and it says draw a monkey in a tree, and then you write a sentence or two or however long, and this one is write about what the monkey's doing. So it's going to take him through those steps and give him a chance to practice writing a little bit too, hopefully in a way that's pretty easy, but just gives him that practice. And the last thing that he also really enjoys art and has been asking specifically how to draw 3D, how to make things look more 3D lately. That's been what he's interested in. And I was looking at stuff for him, and I found this. You guys, this is from my childhood. This is not my book from, not the actual, I wish I still had it. Oh my goodness, that would be wonderful. But I had this book when I was a kid. And I'm so surprised it's still in print, but it definitely is. And so I was super excited to get this for him. And it's got a lot of informational content at the beginning that we'll go over. And then it's just got different little challenges to practice. And they don't have to be done in order. But I'll probably, what I plan to do is I plan to actually have him draw these in a different book, even though there's space in this one. The paper's not the greatest quality, and so that way he can color it and do other stuff to it and just really have a lot of fun. So I think he'll enjoy this. So that is what I have for them. And like I said, my goal here is that I don't want to add a lot more work to what they're already doing. I don't like a lot of extra stuff. I like to keep things pretty minimal as far as like there's a real reason for everything that we're doing, and I don't like to bog the kids down too much. But I felt like there were definitely some things that they could both benefit from having without it being an entirely new subject. So this is the way that I'm handling that, and we'll see how it goes. And I would love to know if you do anything like this with your kids, and if so, which subjects do you include for them? And that is pretty much all I have for you guys. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.